On June 23, 2012, 1,700 Floridians joined their fellow citizens at a rally to speak up for Florida's springs. The gathering at the Silver River State Park was arranged by the Florida Conservation Coalition. The group, led by former U.S. Senator and Governor Bob Graham, has been formed to unify the voices of many statewide groups, including the St. John's Riverkeeper, the Florida Wildlife Federation, and Save Our Springs. Their goal is to alert voters that our water, our environment, and indeed the economic future of our state are in jeopardy. Senator Graham and others boarded a boat to show us how overpumping of water, increased nitrogen pollution from cities and farms, and inadequate protection by the state have had a terrible impact on Silver Springs.
2011 was a terrible year for the environment in the state legislature. Almost a half century of policies to protect our water and our land were eliminated. We decided that we weren't going to lay down and let that happen again. And so we established the Florida Conservation Coalition, an organization of individual Floridians and many of the major conservation organizations. We said, first, no more damage, stop the bleeding. And then second, let's begin to get on the offensive and do those things that are going to permanently protect our water and other important natural resources. That was the beginning. I think we had good success in 2012. We're going to have more success in 2013 if the people of Florida continue to demonstrate they understand what's happening. They don't want to leave that as their legacy to the next generation. If you think Florida's having a bad time economically today, and we are, think what it would be about if we had squandered our most important resources, of which water is at the top of the list. In Florida, the environment and the economy are not enemies, they are allies. The environment is the basis of our economy. It's intangible. Sometimes it's difficult to see the linkage because what you're looking at is a small group of people, maybe one person who's making a decision as, will I expand my business in Florida or elsewhere? Will I move my business to Florida? And the answer frequently is going to be, where do I think I can have the best life for my family and the people that I've got to be able to attract in order to be successful? It is exactly places like the Silver River and our springs, rivers, coast, all over the state that are our essential economic asset. Well, Florida's a lot less blue and green today than it was. I got my license in 1956, and the vibrance of the state, the beauty of its coast and rivers has been gradually in decline, and in the case of our interior rivers and springs, dramatically in decline. First, education. People have got to understand that there's a problem. I wish that instead of 30 of us on this boat, we had 30,000 Floridians on this boat who could see what has happened to this beautiful river. Thank you. Thank you.
You're awesome. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. We've got to convert that knowledge then into effective political action. Our legislators, our governor, got to hear from people about the fact that they are no longer willing to just lay down and accept the destruction of Florida, that they're going to do something about it, and they expect their elected representatives to be the leaders in that effort to turn this decline around. Well, there are a number of things you can do. First, I'd get yourself personally educated. Come out to the places in Florida where you can see the consequences of what's been happening over the last decade or two. Second is to get educated about how to be effectively involved in the political process. What does it take to influence a legislator? One of those things, for instance, is to take him or her with you when you come to a place like the Silver River, so that they are sharing the same experience and hopefully having the same reaction. This is not what I want my grandchildren to say. This is what Granddaddy did to Florida. It's not going to be easy, but I think it can be done. It's got to be done, or we won't have anything left of our state that distinguishes it. We could end up, being another western arid state where you have to have severe limitations on water if we continue down the course that we're on now, or we could continue to have a Florida which has an abundance of water that can support not only what we human beings need, but a lot of other agricultural and business activities to keep the state economically strong. I'm not sure why this has happened. My sense is a lot of the current members of the legislature haven't grown up with Florida. They haven't seen the kind of changes over their lifetime that I have in 75 years. And so it's going to be up to us as citizens to open their eyes and open their minds to different ways of doing their business for the people of the state of Florida, so that we can be both prosperous, protective, and good stewards of this very special piece of the planet Earth that we happen to live on.